Kawhi Leonard, he's going to miss the Clippers' upcoming road trip. That knee issue, it is lingering. This makes 6 straight games Kawhi has been sidelined for. Skip, let's start with you. Scale of 1 to 10. How concerned are you about Kawhi's knee?
I'll go 9. Shannon Sharp, I told you before the season started, I was told that knee is not right post-surgery. And I picked the Clippers anyway because I thought, well, maybe it'll get right. And then on opening night, I was ecstatic because it looked 100% right. Good. Came off the bench mid-second quarter and took the game over. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That's the last we saw him. And I told you that day after that game, I said, well, now we got to see how his knee responds. Well, it didn't respond. So I think it's serious trouble. And if there's no Kawhi, if he's going to limp through the whole season, they got no shot. It took Paul George making 2 miraculous shots last night to beat Houston at home.
Yeah, I agree with you, Skip. I'm at a 10 because I just... It's hard to get healthy during the season, and we know about Kawhi. If he's not 100%, he's not playing.
That is a fact.
And so I just – the thing is, Skip, I mean, like, I can understand he's not going to play back-to-back. But, damn, Skip, it's been 5 or 6 games now.
And now they're going on a 2-game trip, and they say, no way.
And he's not even traveling.
Not traveling.
So now you got to worry about, Skip, whether or not he's playing the knee swelling from air travel. He might just have to play at home, Skip. Unfortunately – all his games might be played at home.
What made it even worse is he looked so good.
Yes.
He's a little bigger, a little stronger, maybe to a detriment.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He might take some of that off, Skip.
Maybe take some off because maybe it's just too much pounding on the knee, maybe too much pound on top of it.
But let me ask you a question, Skip. You say the knee isn't right. Will the knee ever be right? Or will it ever be right in his mind?
I think in his mind is huge, but it didn't come out of surgery quite right, and he is tormented by it. And once the demon gets in your head, my knees, here we go.
It's tough. It's tough.
It might be a long.
But I thought it wasn't as bad. I thought it wasn't a complete tear of the ACL. I thought it was like a micro or a small tear. Was it worse than previously thought once they got inside?
Did not respond well.
Hopefully he'll get better soon, guys. We are out of time. Great show today. We'll be back. We know the Lakers and Pacers stepped away from the idea of trading Russell Westbrook and draft capital for Miles Turner and Buddy Hield. However, Turner says the Lakers should revisit the idea of trading for him. This was on the Woj podcast. The center said, look, I provide leadership, shot blocking, three-point ability, and playmaking. Shannon, could this happen?
I doubt it. Miles Turner clearly doesn't want to be in Indy any longer. He's going to be wanting a contract, and they seem to be unwilling to give him the contract that he's seeking. Skip, they had all offseason. It's just hard for me to see them, especially now since they put Russ in a new role. He seems to be accepting of that role. He seems to be flourishing in that role. I hardly think they're going to revisit this anytime soon. They want to see another 10, 15 games of Russ playing in this role. Okay. Is this a new home? Is this something that we can build on? So now I think it's less likely. We understand who Miles Turner is. He's a 2-time block champ. He normally shoots around 34, 35% from the three, although he's down this year, shooting 27% from the three. But he's missed 65 games between 20 and 2022. And so he's only played 3 games this season. So, look, the last thing they need is another injured big man. We deal with AD every time he jumps up and then he grabs his back and he moves like he 28, but he moves like he's 58. And so for me, Skip, I don't see it happening. I doubt it's going to happen if it were to happen anytime soon, but I don't see it happening now because you had the entire offseason to get something done. Now you put Russ in a new role. He's kind of thriving in that role. And I know, Skip, it's only 2 games, but this is the happiest and the freest I've seen Russ play in a long time. So I think they're going to probably ride this out for a little while.
Which is why I'm with you. It feels like this trade is way off the table because all of a sudden he has turned into Russell West bench. All of a sudden, it looks like he's, at least early on his way to winning 6th man of the year. Yep. So he has a new goal. I'll be the 6th man of the year. I'll be the next Manu Ginobili. I will come in with the expectations, especially at home, to ignite instead of people gasping and saying, no, don't shoot. It'll be like, yeah, Russ is in the game, right?
Applaud him. Yep.
Maybe, 6 minutes left in the first quarter, somewhere mid-first quarter. Here he comes.
Yes.
And here they go.
Yep.
Off to the races. And it looked like Russ balked at the roll and pouted over the roll when he got thrown into that last preseason game.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, Darvin Ham convinced him, just try it, embrace it one night, and let's see what happens. And he did. And he still did a lot of Russell Westbrookian kind of things, like wild turnovers. And
I guess not, Skip. He's found a way to get warm since he's not starting.
I don't know
Remember
how
before,
he did that.
he couldn't even know what to do.
No, he said he didn't. But I think he used the exercise bike up in the tunnel. I don't know, but he did it. And especially the other night, he ignited. And the most stunning stat of the year for the Lakers so far is that against Denver, again, at the Crypt, at home, Russell Westbrook led the whole game with a plus 18, and LeBron was a -1.
Yep.
You could make the case that Russell Westbrook actually saved LeBron from going, what would that make him, 0-6, right? Saved him from going 0-6 because LeBron came out flat, missed his first 4 little layup shots underneath the basket, and then had a wild 3 miss at the end of the half. And you look up and wait a second, they have stormed back, and they are taking control of the game, and they continue to storm all through. And it was led mostly by Westbrook. I thought Austin Reeves played very well in his role, just going along.
Lonnie Walker came in and gave us
He did.
Skip, and even though they lost the game, what was that, Friday night to Minnesota? He played well the first time coming off the bench. I thought he'd done an unbelievable job.
It was just wild because he still shot poorly.
Especially the later he got, the more he reverted back.
19, and he had 5 wild, like sadly comical.
But he had 18 points. He's averaged 18 points, shooting 37% from the 3, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. As a starter, he was 10 points a game, 8% from 3. They had a -16 as a plus-minus.
What was the other night? 18, 8, and 8. 18, 8, and 8. That rolls off the tongue, right? Okay. And it looked like, I mean, I don't know how, but he got voted. He's a top 75 player, and most people think he's slam dunk first ballot Hall of Famer. So if you can sort of, he's like reborn now in this new role, if you will, coming off the bench where he's found a second career salvation. You know, maybe, I don't know, maybe this is going to go. But all of a sudden, to me, even though this story caught fire last night, it just feels like it's starting to fade because could you use Miles Turner and Buddy Hield? Sure you could.
Because maybe Skip, maybe you could probably put Miles Turner in the starting lineup, play him at the 5, put AD at his natural position where he really and truly wants to play. He ain't really trying to bang with a Yoke, a Joel Embiid, or those big guys like that.
And Miles Turner, to your point, he will block some shots.
Yeah.
He had 2 blocks last night.
And Skip, the Lakers are really good. They're a good defensive team. So he could help them. Points and second chance points, rebounding. I think his 3-point percentage will come up. I don't believe he shoots 27% for the whole 3. I think he'll revert back to kind of where he was, like a 34-35% shooter. But I think now Rob Pelinka, Skip, because they said he wanted to see it by Thanksgiving. Okay, they put Russ in this role. I think now there's a reluctancy to do anything. Well, let's see how it works.
Yep.
We thought Russ was going to be in the starting role, but now we might have found a role for him, so this might work for us.
Okay, and as you know, we pointed this out 1,000 times. All that Jeannie Buss has left in her long-term vault are those 2 unprotected first-round picks, 27 and 29. 2027 and 2029. And the point is, if they're unprotected, they could be stars. They could be superstars.